I needed to see people who were actually making money and were doing good in this business, because everybody's here to make money in this market and nobody wants to share their experience or secrets.
Losing money is a part of trading.
There's a very fine line between having a risk management and following a strong psychology and gambling. I used to take multiple trades in a day. Now I might take maybe 3 or 4 trades throughout the week. That has really given me more control over my trading rather than the charts controlling me.
Sean, welcome back to Audacity Capital HQ. First time that you've been back since completing your training with us. First of all, before we start, how are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you, very well. What are the kind of things that you've been preparing this week to be ready for the week ahead in terms of your trading?
First of all, I follow my plan that I built over here. And first of all, I'll note down the days that I have major news events and the timings on my diary.
Yeah.
And I'll set an alarm for each day, which would remind me of the following news events or any major news drivers which can affect the markets.
So you're ready for this week? This week you're covered? Is there anything in particular that you're looking at specifically at the moment?
Not too much, but like I'm very interested in seeing what the pound does next because I trade pound and yen mostly.
For those of you listening that aren't aware or don't know Ishan is one of our Hidden Talents program students. So Ishan has come in, he's done our 2-week, I think it was 2-week mentorship program that you did with us, and then you've progressed on to the live trading account. And the reason that we're doing this here today is because, congratulations, very recently you've hit your first profit target. So you've had your account doubled up to the next stage, which is fantastic progress for someone that's come through our mentorship programs. It obviously takes people different lengths of time and different speeds to be able to reach it, but I think what you've managed to achieve so far is fantastic. So essentially, we're here today to pick your brains, to talk about it, to talk about the mentorship program, to talk about the funding. We're going to start with the mentorship program. So we're going to start by talking a bit about the Hidden Talents program itself. We can go in a little bit more detail in terms of specifically how the program looks and everything like that. But I would just like to get your general thoughts of how you found the Hidden Talents program. You were here for 2 weeks, so what were your thoughts?
When I first came in here, I had a basic understanding of how the markets work and how different currencies affect different currencies. What the program really helped me is to put my trading style and my plan and my times that I usually trade in, put together in a compact plan, in basically just describing what should I do and when should I do it, according to my trading style. So it really helped me on the psychological part of it and developing a trading setup and a plan. So
essentially what you're saying is you felt like you had a lot of the different pieces, but it really helped put it all together into a succinct plan, a way of trading, and how you can actually start extracting profits and extracting money essentially from the financial market.
Yeah, it was like a puzzle, like I had all the pieces, but it wasn't all put up together. You guys basically helped me piece up all the small pieces to complete the whole puzzle.
Tell us a little bit more in detail about your experience coming in, because obviously the Hidden Talents program is a mentorship program, ranges between 2 weeks and 1 month. You opted for the 2-week one because you already had a certain degree of experience before you came to us.
I had 2 mentors, namely Neil and Federica, who helped me a lot with my trading plan and the way I traded. What I learned over here the most was the correct way to use the Fibonacci. That really helped me a lot. And apart from that, intermarket relationships and how everything affects everything, be it news or war or anything related to the global events. And it basically gave me a really nice mindset towards the risk management and the psychology I needed to follow to be successful in this, because I had been trading for around a year and a half before I joined the mentorship, but I wasn't consistent.
You saw some areas within your trading that was positive, you saw some areas of success, but it was limited, it was up and down, as you would say. Is that a fair summary of kind of how it was going?
That's actually putting it in literally a sentence.
I think that's the case, I think, with a lot of traders. A lot of traders, they start trading, they get into the swing of things, they find a strategy, they achieve a little bit of success, they then lose a little bit of money, they realize they're not sure potentially as to whether what they've done is correct or right, and they don't have the confidence to really act upon that, because I think you will certainly understand and know this now, having come through our program. losing money is a part of trading. But when you are new to trading, it's a new feeling. It's something that you don't understand, and you can have 5 losses in a row, and that can be perfectly fine within your strategy. But if you don't know that going in, when you're a relatively new trader, that's going to cause you a lot of issues. You're going to have 5 losing trades in a row, and you're going to think,
yeah,
oh my God, what am I doing here? I'm in the wrong thing. I'm going to blow my account. I need to change. I need to do something else. Did you have that period of time that you went through where you changed around 100%. A lot as to what you were doing?
Yeah, 100%. In the past 1.5 years, I think I've changed my strategies multiple times, maybe in a month, maybe in 15 days. But like the thing I realized the most is once you get into the right mind space and the psychology of it, you can be successful in it. And there's a very fine line between having risk management and following a strong psychology and gambling.
Yes.
Because if you don't have the psychology, even though if you have the technical analysis and everything with you, you are still going to lose money because of your psychology.
Yeah, for sure. Would it be fair to say that the way the methods that you were using before, were they more fundamentally driven?
They were more technical driven, but obviously keeping in mind what the fundamental things are around that.
Okay.
But the most important part for me that I learned over here was psychology and risk management.
Okay, and how did the mentorship program, obviously, like you said, you feel like the program for you put all of the pieces together to allow you to start being consistently profitable. What you mentioned there, risk management, and you mentioned psychology. What specifically about the program was it that gave you the tools to be able to learn and cope and deal with those things?
I think it came down to my mentors, because I had all the information beforehand, but until and unless I was given that personal touch that mentors give you, I wasn't able to achieve that because I needed to see people who were actually making money and were doing good in this business, which motivated me to follow their psychology and their trading style.
So it's having the kind of accountability element of it, that learning from people that have been there, done it before, they've got the t-shirt, they've made the losses, they've made all the mistakes, 100%. Under the sun, they've got the repertoire behind them, but also at the same time, obviously being there to be able to do it and see it for yourself as well, the actual trading side of things, and having someone there to keep you accountable. And because it's all well and good, I think, within trading saying, oh, I have a trading plan, I have a set of rules, these are the things that I follow, but realistically, actually following them is actually a challenge. Actually a challenge in itself. And having a team of people around you and people within your circle and within your sphere that is keeping you accountable to those set of rules is something that I actually think is extremely beneficial. It's kind of good to see that the way that you've gone and the path and the route that you've gone down is very, very similar to that. So it's not overly surprising. Obviously I think consistency is the hardest part, and you're obviously still on that journey. You've reached your first profit target, which is fantastic. Now we need to kind of kick on from here and continue to really see that consistency grow. Was there anything else from the program specifically that you feel like has really helped and benefited you, specifically relating to that consistency side of things?
I would say, as you said, accountability. If I did something wrong, I have to be answerable to my mentors that why did I take that trade and what did I do wrong in it. So me being accountable and being answerable to my mentors put an element of more self-control and discipline, because previously I was like, okay, if I lose this, okay, I'm going to lose this. But like, if I'm going to lose, I have to explain it to my mentors, why did I lose over here? Basically, it gave me rails so that I do not go off track.
I want to go a little bit further back now, obviously, just, obviously pre-starting the program. What was it specifically about the Hidden Talents program that appealed to you and said to you, yes, this is the program that's the right place for me to be able to achieve the results that I want to achieve?
Yeah, the best thing about the program that I felt was getting a personal mentor to myself and be able to discuss all kinds of problems that I have related to trading. I really like the policy that Audacity has, that I'm not restricted to meet a particular target within a time frame of 1 month.
Absolutely.
So that really puts a lot of pressure off me.
Yes.
So I don't have to just keep thinking that, oh, there's only 5 days left to meet my profit target or anything like that.
I think that's really, that is absolutely critical, especially when you're in the learning phase.
Yeah, 100%.
You've been trading for a year and a half, but yet to find consistency, you know, in that time, you're still learning, you're still at the beginning of your trading journey, essentially. You need to have that time to experiment, for things to go wrong, for, you know, you to go back to the drawing board sometimes in a case. That obviously hasn't happened in your, you know, in your specific case example, but having that kind of, you know, there not being any kind of time pressure applied to you is what's going to enable you to be able to achieve the best results that you possibly can. What were your expectations of the program kind of going into it? Did you have any, you know, you knew it was a 2-week mentorship and then you were going to be able to receive funding on the other side?
Basically get the best teachers out there who can help me be successful in this business, and the guarantee of getting funded after that, because that's a risk for the company as well, because you are taking in fresh students and taking a risk on them. They might just lose the capital. But having good mentors and who hold you accountable for your deeds is really important in this business, because if we do not have any reins,
it's a challenge.
It's a challenge. And having the right mentors and teachers to guide you through this journey is really important, because nobody actually gives you that kind of mentorship or help one-on-one basis, because everybody's here to make money in this market and nobody wants to share their experience or secrets.
Absolutely. No, 100%. I think, again, putting, you know, with the program as well, it's, you know, almost putting your money where your mouth is. It's like, okay, you know, we really do believe so much in the things that we are teaching and the methods that we're, you know, showing you how to use, that we're willing to provide you access to the funding and risking our capital with you on completion. So I think that actually, in a way, speaks volumes in terms of how much we believe in the things that we are delivering to students and things that we are teaching, and your success is another testament to that risk and that chance that we take on all these students. Did your expectations, or did anything kind of, as you went through, change? Was there anything that surprised you about, you know, about the program?
One thing really surprised me was the tools that I was provided with, especially I mentioned it before, the Fibonacci tool. That really helped me understanding the movement in the market and what should I expect. And the way it was taught was really simple. So I was always taught by Federica or Neil to always look at the glass half full rather than half empty, because it plays a huge role on our psychology. Even though if I have continuous losing trades, but basically getting the balance that I needed. And that really helped me in the mentorship program.
So let's dive a little bit deeper then on the Fibonacci tool, because that is a big kind of one of the fundamental things that we do teach. There are so many different ways that you can use this tool, and that's why it's so crucially important, because everybody's going to be trading in a different way. You can't use a tool for lots of different people if it has one-dimensional use, but this tool has multiple facets and multiple ways of using it, for entries, for exits, for where you put stop losses, where you put take profits, all of these different things rolled into one simple tool to use. How do you use it? What are the things that you specifically use it for?
So I have collaborated 3 things in my trading. So I used to trade just smart money concepts. So I have collaborated that along with the Fibonacci that I was taught over here. That has given me a high rate of accuracy, I would say. Whereas sometimes when I'm wrong, I lose maybe 0.5% or something like that. But when I'm right, I try to make at least 2% on it. So that gives me an edge over the market, and it basically drives away a lot of noise. So suppose when I'm following moving averages, so it depends on what time frame I'm looking at, it will show me a different trend. But when I collaborate all these things along with the Fibonacci, it gives me accuracy, it gives me insights, and gives me proper levels that I should be looking at. So that really gave me an edge over the market, because it has reduced my tradings, in the sense I used to take multiple trades in a day. Now I might take maybe 3 or 4 trades throughout the week. And that has really given me more control over my trading rather than the charts controlling me.
For sure.
So that's the key takeaway.
That's a very knowledgeable piece of insight, I think. I've never actually heard that before, you know, that in terms of you controlling the charts instead of the charts controlling you. I think that's a really fantastic way of actually describing psychology and the way that we do things and how we actually implement our plan and the things that we kind of go through when we are trading. So I want to know a little bit more now about how your trading has developed since finishing. Obviously, you were here for 2 weeks, you had the mentorship program, you had all that dedicated time to you. You then progressed on to the funding. Have there been any changes, any developments? You know, have things adapted over time? Tell us a little bit about that.
Definitely. I have changed and tweaked a lot of things in my trading setup since I completed my program over here.
Yeah.
Because I was advised by my mentors to take it slow.
Yeah.
Not to risk more than 1%, but I took the advice to take it slow and never risk more than 0.5% of my account.
Brilliant.
Just to be more protected, to preserve my capital, because it's easy to just blow it up.
Absolutely.
If I'm not careful. So doing that, I made a lot of mistakes in my previous accounts, but I learned from them, and it basically developed more into, suppose when you have thumbprints on a glass, it's hard to see through it.
Yeah.
But now it's more clear.
Okay.
It's really yes and no decision making now, instead of
Fantastic.
maybe if or something like that.
Brilliant. Again, that's really, really important. I think the more you can make trading binary and not subjective decision making, where it's very easy for emotions to creep in, emotions to get involved, which is 9 times out of 10 is going to lead to a negative result over the long term. I think, the more you can make it yes, no, okay, there's my analysis, there's my neutral objective analysis. Where am I entering the trade? What am I doing around this position? Rather than, oh, if it goes here, I could go this way, but if it goes there, I could go that way. Yeah, I think that's really, really good. What are the biggest challenges that you've faced since progressing to the live account stage of the Hidden Talents program?
The biggest challenge was to take profits, in the sense I could see there are profits on the table, but being a wishful thinker, I was like, I can just maybe squeeze a little bit more out of it. And most of the times I would just take half of the profit that I was offered. Yeah. So just being rigid to my plan and taking profits was really important. And that's what basically helped me in previous month, where I achieved my target, was just being rigid and taking my profits where I thought I'm going to take.
Where you're supposed to, again, it all comes back down to risk to reward ratio, doesn't it? You know, if you can have a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio, for example, you only need to be, you only need to win 27% of your trades to be a break-even trader. So that shows you don't have to win every position if you are able to have that kind of risk to reward ratio. But like you say, that requires for you to be able to have to leave money on the table when you want to put it in your pocket, essentially. So that is the challenge of the human brain when money is involved, when the psychology kicks in that you want that cash and that money now, but you need to be able to stick to the plan. So that, again, that's a really interesting point. Is there anything specifically that you implemented in order to overcome that? You said that's the change that you've made, or the thing that you found the most challenging.
Suppose if I'm risking 0.5% of my account, as soon as it reaches 1%, I take half of my positions off. So I have some of my profits which have been booked already.
So that helps you that helps the mental side of things.
And if I get another entry, I can maybe enter again with a smaller lot size again. But I make sure that I take profits, at least half of my position off once it reaches like 1% or 1.5% of my account size. So that has really helped me, because for me personally, even before I came in here, I used to struggle with, I would take losses, but maybe just move my stop loss a little bit more down, so that I have more room to breathe, and I would continue doing that until it was just unbearable for me. And that thing has really changed, because now I have been able to just take a loss as a loss and not see it as a loss, in the sense I would see
it's part of your plan.
It's part of my plan, and I just take it like a fee that I'm giving to the market to teach me. So 100%. That has really helped me with my psychology.
Is there anything specific that you do to help with your psychology, you know, in terms of, you know, dealing with setbacks, dealing with a few losses in a row? Is there, you know, anything specific that you do? Do you take breaks? You know, how do you deal with that?
Once I'm in a position, I would try to keep my eyes away from the charts. So I read books or something basically to distract my mind from the trade. Because when it's in a negative position, I feel like closing the trade down.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do, and it just shoots back up,
Yeah.
and I'm like, why did I do that? And sometimes it goes the other way around. It hits my stop loss, and then I'm like, okay, it hit my stop loss, I'll just buy again so that I can risk a bit more to just make up the money I lost. So reading books and just staying away from charts when I'm in a position helps me a lot, but obviously just not being away from it.
Yeah.
In breaks, I would go and check up on the positions. Or if I had 2 losing trades in a day and lost 1% of my account, I would just close my laptop and shut down my screens.
Yeah.
And we basically go to the gym, go for a run.
Yeah, something else.
Something else. Just because I get a feeling that I need to make my money back today.
Yeah,
and
which is
that's
not a good feeling.
No, and then that makes my losing streak even more bigger.
For sure,
so
100%.
Yeah.
So what specifically about the Hidden Talents program, what were the key takeaways that you took from the program that's helped you to achieve success with the program after completing it?
Being disciplined, following my psychology, sticking to my plan, not deviating from it, and just being very rigid and answering the questions as they come on the basis of yes and no, not sticking to if and buts. Yeah. So those were the key takeaways, and particularly the mentors really helped me achieve that, because they really grained it into me that if I needed to be successful in this business, I have to stick to them, else my emotions are going to take over. I will be making decisions based on my emotions, not on the facts that are presented to me.
Yeah. So essentially what you're saying is kind of the mentor was the kind of glue that, you know, you've got all these key things and these key takeaways and the, you know, the things that you've actually learned and developed whilst you're on the program. And the mentor is the glue that's keeping all those things and keeping you accountable throughout that process.
It's basically looking yourself in the mirror, because they're not going to lie to you, or they're just going to be straight up, even if it is going to hurt your feelings or anything, because if it is wrong, it is wrong.
Yeah. So what are the currency pairs that you're focusing most of your attention on at the moment, and why specifically have you chosen those pairs?
I chose pound and yen because yen is a more stable currency. And it doesn't move like crazy like euro pound or euro dollar. It takes more time to give you profits, but it's stable. And as a student, I think I should stay away from too volatile markets. It basically gives me more opportunity to think and be wrong, whereas the other pairs would instantly provide me with either losses or results.
Okay. So what are the tools, maybe indicators, or maybe for looking at kind of fundamental news that you rely on specifically to stay up to date with kind of more highbrow things to do in terms of the markets?
For defining trends and looking at the market, I usually use MT4 and 200 moving days average just to define the trend on a higher time frame. And for my news and what's going on in the market, I usually go to Forex Street and investing.coms to read articles and to see what are the news for the week.
How often are you looking at the kind of fundamental side? Are you reading articles kind of in an allocated time once per week, or are you kind of just staying up to date as you go through the week? How are you kind of structuring that?
For news, I usually read news on a daily basis just to keep myself updated. But I usually follow high impact and low impact, medium impact news when it comes to trading. But I do not pay too much attention on the fundamentals, because when you look at too many things, it confuses you.
One last question for you, and this is a question that I always ask traders that reach profit targets, not just from Hidden Talents program, but from the Funded Trader program as well. And that is, you know, if you could give one piece of advice to an aspiring trader, someone maybe that is struggling, going through some difficulty, what would that piece of advice that you would give be? I
would 100% recommend them to get a mentor, because a mentor really makes a difference. Because you can learn and read books all you want, but unless you have a guide who can show you the real way, it's hard, because you know all the information that you need to know, but it's really hard to implement it unless you are held accountable and you are being cross-questioned on your decisions continuously, because no one is going to help you out in the real world when you are trading your own capital. Whereas when you are involved with people who have been in this business long enough and have shown you the way, they are credible, and then you are accountable for every action, every step you take. So that basically grinds in a sense of responsibility, discipline, and psychology into you. which is the most important asset I've developed over here. 100%.
So do the Hidden Talents program then.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
the answer.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Fantastic. Look, Ishan, thank you very much for giving your time today. Again, congratulations and well done on hitting your first 10% profit target. I have no doubt that it won't be the last, rather.
Yeah, 100%.
So we're looking forward to continuing to monitor your progress. Thanks for coming in and giving us your time today. And yeah, all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ishan.
Thanks so much for your help.